Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Commander Versus. I'm David McDarby.
I'm Danny West.
And we're here to battle some Commander. Last week you might have seen our Atog versus Corona allies. Maybe have some fun watching those 5-color decks. But here we're going to take things down a notch.
Yes.
And kind of get back some wholesome, good, one-colored mono goodness.
No more coat of arms.
No more coat of arms. And just one basic lands to rule them all. So what deck did you have, Danny?
Well, we just cleared Valentine's Day.
Yes, a couple days ago, right?
It was this past weekend. So I thought I'd choose a card that I love.
You love?
I love.
Oh, what's her name?
Her name is Elesh Norn. I wouldn't take her home to meet Mom, but here she is.
The grandest of all Cenobites?
The Grand Cenobite. Elesh Norn is my favorite Magic card in the whole wide world.
Wow.
And this is a commander deck that I built to showcase her lovely abilities. We have, like most mono-white EDH decks, it plays a very control role. You want to be wrathing things, blowing things up a lot, and because of that, I have chosen to put more planeswalkers than is probably typical of most commander decks.
Yep, so you're mono-white, which means you don't have a lot of card draw, and your white is split in between lots of cheap creatures like Isamaru, stuff like that, and tons of Wrath of God's controlling effects, Sun Titans, and all that jazz.
Correct. I wanted cards that survive the Wrath Storm.
Yes. So Planeswalkers seem pretty good. They're less good in multiplayer games because they give your opponents excuses to attack them.
Correct.
But in 1v1, they're fine. And most of these, like Elspeth and Karn, you still get value out of them when they come into play. And then maybe they stick around. Who knows?
Sure. And I will highlight a Johnny Goldmane. He is obviously, in most Commander games, he's not the most powerful. But there is a minor token theme in this. And I haven't played with him in a while, so I wanted to have fun with him.
Bringing back Lorman style, black-white tokens without the black?
Yeah, or in my case, green-white.
Green-white, yes.
But however, yeah, he did work for both.
Okay.
And so like I said, Wrath effects are really important, and I have a good handful. This is 5. There are actually a few more, but these are the ones that I'm primarily concerned with. Austere Command is a format staple because of its flexibility. If I have a lot of big dudes, I can blow up the small dudes. If I have a lot of small dudes, I blow up the big dudes. So that's flexible. I had Day of Judgment in this deck, but cut it, and because I felt like Wrath of God was probably sufficient. Marshall Coup makes tokens, and I like also, speaking of flexibility, a Chroma's Vengeance. If I'm in a position where Wrath is just not going to do anything, cycling is kind of nice, especially I do have an Entreat the Angels tucked in, as well as a Terminus. So
double miracles.
You never know.
You never know.
In Catastrophe, I'm not playing Armageddon, so this I'll say 90% of the time is going to be a Wrath of God, but hey, if I'm behind and blowing up some lands will help me out, what do you want me to do?
Yeah, I mean, behind blowing up lands isn't very good, but if you're ahead, you can blow up lands. That's pretty good.
It is.
I'm scared that it says blow up all lands, but you know, it's 6 mana, you're mono-white.
Yeah, I feel like you could do much more unfair things in terms of blowing up lands, and most of the time, again, I'm not going to, but it's nice to have. I won't lie to you.
Okay,
I do. One of my favorite ways to win is to have an Elesh Norn on the battlefield completely by herself.
And attack for 4.
And that helps.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
And I also have a card that I haven't seen in a lot of Commander recently, but I think is very cool, and that is Archon of Justice, and that interacts very well with Wrath effects.
Yes, I understand. I see how this would go.
A subtle interaction, to be certain. I actually played this card back in the Lorwyn Shards when 5-color decks were, you could pretty much play whatever you want and fix it with Vivids. I really liked playing that card in that deck, strangely enough, just because of its flexibility and since you were already blowing up so much stuff. And yeah, I really like him in this deck.
Yeah, so what is this card right here?
This is a card that pretty much found 0 homes throughout history that a lot of people liked when it was spoiled. However, it is so ideal in a mono-white commander deck, it's immeasurable.
Endless Horizons.
Endless Horizons allows you basically to have a land every single turn.
So it's kind of like a Phyrexian Arena. You're going to draw land.
Correct. And also, not only that, but I mean, you know, people talk about the small percentage points of thinning your deck with fetching. Well, there's no percentages here. This will thin your deck.
Yeah, this is a large percent.
And it should be noted, it doesn't say basic planes. So it allows you, if you are so inclined and you would like to play this with shock lands and things like that, you can actually fix a little. Like, I don't know what that would look like, but it's certainly possible.
Shock lands, you can play Mistveil Plains.
Yep, Mistveil Plains.
Maybe you can play a full reflecting pool from Lorwyn Block, which has the plane symbol in the text box. Nobody knows. That's not a very common thing. But I don't think you could get that, but I'd still let that go in Commander.
Fair enough, just style points. Swag, as they call it.
Yes.
In my deck, I am running the Scrying Sheets engine with snow-covered plains, so it should be noted, Endless Horizons, flagstones, things like that can get snow-covered lands.
Okay.
So, and then lastly, we have Academy Rector, who maybe besides Archon is a card that I want you to block so it can die very, very badly. There's a White loves enchantments. There's a huge enchantment suite. Mobilization and Sacred Mesa are token makers. I mentioned the token theme before. Oblivion Ring and Darksteel Mutation are very flexible removal. We talked about Darksteel Mutation before. It's one of the new commander cards.
Yeah, it's a new commander card. Pacifism effects seem less powerful than removal spells like Oblivion Ring or Swords of Plowshares, but when you're casting your opponent's general, they just put it back in the command zone and recast it.
Yeah.
And then that doesn't seem very good for you. But a pacifism, they just sit out there and you can't recast them.
I think of cards like Maelstrom Wanderer and things like that. There are actually a lot of cards that you're actually better off if they don't die and stay on the battlefield.
Yeah, and Darksteel Mutation is cute in that it makes the creature indestructible, so even if you Wrath of God all their other creatures, their general, they can't recast their general.
Pretty sweet design out of those guys. And then I have also a core set that is Armored Ascension, which is a core set limited staple
bomb sometimes.
Yes, that gives your creature, an enchanted creature, +1/+1 for each planes you control.
Oh, so it'd be pretty good with all your 1/1s, I guess.
I got to make them big somehow.
Yeah.
And if Elesh Norn's not around, Armored Ascension is sort of a great trick, especially.
It's pretty much the secondary Elesh Norn, you could say.
Yes, it does some work. So that is my sweetheart, Elesh Norn, and hopefully she will break your heart and make your life total go away quickly.
My achy, breaky heart.
That's Billy Ray Cyrus. Shout out. All right, let's see your deck.
All right.